Welcome back.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Here we are again. Today we're going to talk about Leah's shotgun again, but we're going to talk about how her shooting has gone since she's been away at college, and she's been up there solo handling herself like a champ.
This summer, whether you're at the range or in the field, WSI Sports' Hypertech Bamboo tanks, tees, and leggings will have you covered. Visit WSISports.com and use Leah's affiliate code, LLCO10, for 10% off your purchase. All products are proudly made in the USA. WSI is bringing back pride in American-made clothing. Again, that code is LLCO10 for 10% off your order at WSISports.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mac Outdoors podcast, where a dynamic mother-daughter duo share their adventures, tips, and advice. I am Mia, and I'll be accompanied by the one and only daughter, Lea. It is time to get to outdoors, hunt, shoot, and spend time with family and friends. Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah. How many competitions have you shot so far? Your third one will be
No.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or day after.
Sunday.
Third one, day after tomorrow. So, how has it been going to a new place and signing up and registering on your own?
I was kind of scared at first to do it all on my own. I know I've done the registering and everything on my own before, but the fact of showing up by myself, getting ready by myself, I didn't have any friends there shooting with me. Usually I know the shooters out there also because I shoot at the local competitions and stuff like that. But being so far from home and all these new people, it's actually been really cool. I was worried at first, but everyone's been really friendly and helpful and welcoming. I know there are a few that haven't been very welcoming, but overall it's been a really great experience.
Yeah. And we'll talk about those few that weren't so welcoming, but first I want to talk to you about your first match that you went to. Tell everybody you're shooting ATA shoots. And ATA,
Yes.
is that American Trap Association? Is that what that is?
Amateur
Trap Association.
Yes.
Okay. Amateur Trap Association. So you headed up there, you drove past some fires, and actually one of our friends here from Pagosa was up there fighting fires. And I know you guys didn't get to see each other because you were competing and he was fighting fires. But you went up there and registered and signed up on your own. And how did your first shoot go?
My first shoot, I went to Helena, the capital, and I stayed in a hotel all by myself. That one was a 3-day competition. It was on Labor Day, and it was a lot of fun. I was really worried about it at first. I know, I was super nervous just because I was by myself, and staying by myself, I had to really be aware of everything that I was doing and stuff like that. So I was kind of nervous at first. I had a couple hiccups. The range only took cash, so I had to run and find. Luckily, registration opened at 8 and I got there early just because I don't know how they did it up here, if it would take 5 minutes or an hour depending on how many people went to shoot. But I had to run and find ATM, get money to pay for registering all my clays, and so it was super frantic learning experience though, because actually there's only one range in Montana that even takes credit cards. So I learned early that not to show up without any money, because
Cash is important to have, right?
Yeah. Well, especially some of those ranges aren't very close to town. So Good thing.
It takes
Luckily.
you a while to get there and back, and you might have missed
Yeah.
registration. So that's a
Right.
good tip, not just for shotgun shooting, but for travel in general, is
Yeah.
always have extra cash. Because as you know, a couple times when Leah and I have been on the road, my bank is very nice and they protect my best interest and they lock my card down because it's in states where bad things happen, right?
Yeah.
And actually, something also, another tip besides just having cash is let your bank know where you're going, but Walmart is a red flag to banks. If you go to a Walmart, which is generally if you're traveling for hunts, you go to Walmart to get your hunting license. I guess a lot of fraud happens at Walmarts and they will lock your account down. Actually, we had a friend come hunt with us last month and 3 of her credit cards, her ATM card and 2 credit cards got locked down at Walmart while she was trying to buy her hunting license. So that's a tip for you guys is let your bank know that you are headed out of state, where you're going. If you can avoid, I'm not saying don't go to Walmart, but it just, word of caution, Walmart might be a red flag if you don't let your bank know you're going to be traveling.
Yeah.
So tell us, now that I took us off on that little tangent where I'm like, squirrel, how did the shoot go once you got registered and signed up? A 3-day shoot. That's a lot of clays. How many clays did you shoot?
I shot a total of 600. It was 200 a day. I did 100 handicap, 100 singles. And it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people that were super supportive, and I actually made a statement at most of the shoots. I was second in the women's division as well as my class. And
And and actually, we were pretty excited because you were first.
I was first.
He was gonna get a first place. Yeah.
After the second day, I believe, was it the second day?
I think it was the second. It might have been the third day.
Second or third day, I moved up a class. That's how the ATA works. If you shoot a 94 or higher, if you're in the bottom class, you go up a class. So I had been shooting in D class, and I shot a 97 on my singles, which was my personal best. That was the first day I shot that. So the second day, I shot another 97, and I had won that D class. Well, they had moved me up to C class, and I lost by 1 bird in the C class, which was annoying because I won the D class, but it was really exciting that I actually am making the progression through
Yeah.
the
And
classes.
to me, as a parent, which, you know, how parents are like, oh my gosh, you know, I was so excited to see you doing the shoot on your own. And as you said, you had been to local shoots on your own. So you had done it by yourself before, but not where you didn't know anyone. I mean, you didn't know the registration people at the local shoots. So I was really excited. And for our listeners and viewers who don't know a backstory, Leah used to shoot YHEC, which is the NRA's program. It's called the Youth Hunter Education Challenge. And they shot muzzleload, 22 rifles, they shot archery and shotgun. And shotgun was bar none Leah's best event until competition day. And you would shoot wonderful scores, and then we'd go to competition and she would bomb. So that's how she got started shooting trap, is we were like, she's got to compete more and she's got to shoot more to get rid of the anxiety. So as a mom, I'm like, Leah's going off. She's going by herself. She's going to have anxiety. I hope she shoots well, you know, because I really wanted you to shoot well so you'll continue on your journey of shooting, because I know you enjoy it. So as a mom, like, I'm watching this, I'm like, oh my God, she's in first. Because of course Leah's, you know, reporting her scores. And I was so excited. And even with you advancing a class like that, even though you got second, you advanced. And like, I just, as a parent, I'm like, woo, and you're cheerleader from miles and miles away. So in that shoot, you finished really, really well and did it all on your own, solo. Tell us about your next trip out of town and how that competition went.
So Helena, it was a big shoot. There were, I believe, like 15 trap houses. It was a big range. There was like 1,000 people, it seemed like. Probably with their fans, there was that many people. But I went to another shoot in Dillon. Dillon is really close also. It's 2 hours away. And we had driven through Dillon on our way up, and I was like, well, it's small. And I looked it up. They had 5 trap houses there. And so I was like, oh, small shoot. It was only a day. It was only a Saturday shoot. And I was like, why not? It's close. And that one actually gave me a lot harder time than the big Helena shoot did.
See, and I would think the opposite. I would think a smaller shoot would be more comfortable, like not overwhelming.
Yeah.
But isn't it your registration process that caused it to be a little more trying? I mean, and also your mapping system kind of made it difficult for you to get there, which causes a little anxiety.
Yeah, everything. I know I wrote an article about it on my personal blog, which it'll go up tonight. But the registration, I got pretty insulted by one of the gentlemen there. And so that kind of, I am someone that's very competitive, first of all. And then when someone says something like that to me, he says,
tell everybody what the gentleman said.
yes. So this gentleman, he's an older man, and he was doing the registration. He was filling out the paperwork, like my yardage as handicap and what class I am. Well, this was the weekend after Helena, so I hadn't had my scores updated on the computer yet. And I had told him I moved up a class last week, but it isn't updated yet. And he looks at my average card that they give everyone. It says how many shoots you've done, your average for that year, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, looks at my card and says, nope, you're D class. Learn how to shoot better. And in the worst tone ever. And I was like, did this guy just say that to me? And before I could say anything, the guy behind me like bumps into me, like pushes me out of the way. And they were laughing at me. I was like the only girl there for like the whole morning. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't even
So that competitive spirit came out, and what did you do? Tell everybody what you did.
So
You survived heat stroke and recovered and managed to get back and shooting, and tell us all about that.
So I got heat stroke. I had shot all my singles. I finished with a 94, which wasn't great, but it got me the win, so I'm happy with that. And I got heat stroke the last round of my handicap. I couldn't finish. I passed out walking off the trap range. Luckily, the people.
And thankfully, somebody safely got you off the line, right? And handled your gun and like made sure no incidents occurred. So that's good.
I was glad there was a couple sitting on the benches watching us shoot, and they ran to me, is all I remember, these people coming, and they took care of my gun and made sure they bought me lunch, made sure I ate and everything, and got water and took care of me. And then the team actually contested to have me finish my last round. I had shot the first 2 shots of the 25 before I left the line, and so they let me, after I felt better, shoot my last 23, and I actually finished with the 23, which I was pretty happy about, considering everything that had just went on.
I mean, did that make you a little anxious also, or like embarrassed, or to have that happen and to be not feeling well and not have your family there? I mean, because I felt bad being, like I said, miles and miles away. Like there was nothing I could do. Did that cause anxiety, like having these problems while you're there?
Yeah, it was actually like I was really scared because I didn't know what to do. Everyone's like, well, you're from here, right? Can you just stay with someone? Like, no, I'm not from here. I'm not even, don't have family near, like anywhere close, like in Dillon. And so it was like super scary, and especially because I didn't know anyone. If I would have had that happen in New Mexico, where I always shoot, I know plenty of people there that would help me, but
Yeah.
everyone was super nice and would check on me and asked if everything was okay, if I needed a ride somewhere, anything. They were super nice. And I actually stayed for the whole shoot. Usually I leave after doubles, but I stayed the whole time just to recover as much as I could before I drove back. I
Make sure
drove back.
you were feeling well. And so, I mean, from that, you obviously learned some things and you already knew that you needed to eat and stay hydrated. But what were some things that, like, what are you going to keep in your range bag for next time to help prevent that from happening again?
I actually have been starting to do this already, but I buy those snack bag of chips, the big bag that has like little packages, and I put one in my range bag whenever I go out there. And then I buy a case of water in my dorm, and I always make sure I have one in my range bag. And if I go to a shoot, I take like 2 or 3 extra waters from there, depending. I know the Helena shoot, they had free water at the Dylan shoot. It was like 50 cents for water. And so I get extras there too for my drive back because I know recovering from heat and everything, it's always nice to have a water for the drive. And
Yeah.
actually, what I got now are it's actually what helped when I was at that shoot, were they're the, what are they called?
Are they the Gatorade chews? Is that what you told me?
Yeah, the ones I had were the Cliff Bars.
Cliff Bars. Okay.
Cliff
And
Bars.
I'm thinking Cliff Bars are nutrition. Chips are not really nutrition unless you have like veggie
Yeah,
chips, or what kind of, like, are you?
I have like I think I have veggie ones, and then I have like the Sun Chips, like original, not a lot of flavored ones because those like dehydrate you and stuff, but it's something to tide me over, and as well as those little chew things, so that
And so
helps.
that's something, if someone ever is, low on energy or feeling exhausted, you can do those chews. And
Yes.
and the Cliff Bar, those are actual chews also, or is it just?
Just like the Gatorade ones. They're a little different, I think. The Gatorade ones are like electrolyte, and the Cliff ones are something different but similar to that also.
Cool. We'll have to look those up and put them in the show notes for people so they can know what it is. You'll have to send me the link to that so I can throw it in there. Something that I would like to actually throw out there that that I use is Wilderness Athletes Hydrate. I use that a lot, and that's just a powder that you put into your water bottle, and it replenishes your electrolytes and potassium and all of that. So that's something else that can help with dehydration and heat. And also shade, which at that shoot, how well did you do?
That shoot, I actually won the ladies division as well as this. I actually shot in D class on that shoot just because my scores weren't updated in ATA, so technically I was still in D class, but I would have won C class as well as I looked, so I feel a double win for that one. So
Yeah.
I didn't bring home a lot of money from it, but I had been talking to my mom about buying a lawn chair, and I actually won one.
She won a chair. And so now you have a place to rest when you're hot, and then we'll have to send you some shade to attach to it so you can have some shade. And yeah, a big sombrero we'll send you. You already have a big sombrero. You can just wear that.
Yeah. That Dylan shoot, I think the funnest part about that was where their range looks out. There is a big field that this little farmer guy, you can see his little house down the road, but there were deer that fed out in this field all day long.
So you guys are shooting at the deer.
And so, yeah, I'm like, from the trap house, there's deer just right out there. And so it's so distracting. So I was pretty proud that I actually got through that whole shoot with how distracted I was with deer out there. I even got my little binos out. I have little vortex little ones that I carry in my truck. And I would look at them when we weren't shooting, and there's a few little bugs out there and stuff. But of course I get distracted by that.
Oh, that's awesome. Super awesome. I'm really glad you survived, and congratulations on winning first place. First place. So ×3, you won first place. Yeah. And that's pretty darn good for being out there all by yourself. And I hope that you'll do pretty well this weekend as well.
Another thing, I'm actually doing the fall league up here in Missoula, which is super crazy compared to where I used to shoot. They have 37 teams in this league, and it's so much different than the league that I shot before, because we would shoot singles and then a handicap as a round, whereas here you only shoot a round of singles for 10 weeks, I guess. And so it's super interesting how they do that compared to here. And they actually make it more of where you shoot with your team all the time. I know where I shot in New Mexico, you could just shoot with whoever you wanted. But here, you have to turn in your scorecard to the front desk, and they have runners that tell you like who's on what trap. They have, I believe, 5 trap houses open every Tuesday. You shoot every Tuesday night, and they assign you to a trap, and you shoot your 25, and then you're done for the night. But it's really cool to see everyone go and hang out, and they have cocktail hour after everyone shoots. And
you can't have cocktail hour. College kids do not have cocktails.
I leave at cocktail hour, but I guys in there after they're done. They have a big clubhouse and everything, and everyone there is really friendly. So that's nice too.
That's nice too. And you know, the good news is what I'm really happy, and I'm very proud that you are doing all this stuff on your own solo, and that you're sticking it out up there, and also that you're still shooting. Like, that is super cool, because I know a lot of people, when they go to college, they don't get to shoot anymore. So I'm pretty impressed, and I'm glad that you're doing as well as you are.
Yeah, and I actually reached out to the people at the trap club before I went, just to introduce myself before, and that actually helped me a lot with getting into this league, because I told the guy who I was, what I wanted to do, and he got me through the loophole of getting onto a team, because they only restrict it to so many teams. And sadly, I can't find very many people that want to shoot from the school, because I did try to make a team. I'm in the process of trying to get Scholastic shooting up here.
You're going to have to update us on the Scholastic, and let us know how that goes.
It's a process, but I've heard of another girl trying to get it done up here too, but I haven't met her yet. So it's all kinds of stuff going on with that, but hopefully by next year we can get something.
Awesome. Awesome. If any of our listeners have any tips for Lea on getting a team going, then let us know. Message us and on our email. It's in the show notes, or else just reach out to us on social media, Lea Leggett or Lea Huntress and Mia Anstein. Those links are also in the show notes, but let us know if you have any tips. And if you have any shout outs for us, let us know. Make sure and subscribe before the show is over so that you get future episodes.
More Montana crazy stories.
Yes, we'll share more stories. And so for now, I'm going to have to sign off for the night and let you go do whatever college kids do. Study. That's what you're going to do. Go study.
Thanks.
What do you say?
Maybe watch a movie.
Oh, watch a movie. That's what college kids do. They watch movies.
I've been watching a lot of Western movies lately. So.
Awesome. What's your favorite Western movie, guys? Let us know. Tell us that. We want to know what are the best Westerns. Maybe it's one that Lea hasn't seen yet.
My favorite is Tombstone, everyone.
Tombstone.
If you didn't know. I have a horse named Doc Holliday, so that gives it away.
It sure does. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.